The air in my childhood home had changed after graduation. What once felt like a safety net now tightened like a noose. I remember the exact moment I realized this wasn't temporary anymore. When my mother started assigning chores like military drills, her voice sharp as she demonstrated the correct way to fold towels at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday. I laughed at first, thought it was a joke. It wasn't. My part-time remote job paid enough for groceries and gas barely. Freelance gigs filled the gaps, editing business proposals at midnight, designing logos for startups that paid in promises. Each morning began with job applications, my laptop balanced on the kitchen counter while eating cereal straight from the box. The rejection emails blurred together after a while. "We've decided to move forward with another candidate," became a daily mantra. The first fracture appeared when I missed taking out the recycling one Tuesday. Not forgot, missed. Because my freelance client needed urgent revisions by 8 p.m. My mother left the overflowing bin outside my bedroom door, the sour stench of yogurt containers and wine bottles seeping under the doorframe all night. By month 6, the rules multiplied like bacteria. No closed doors during daylight hours. Phone answered within 3 rings when she called. Location sharing permanently enabled. All packages inspected before entering the house. I found the chore spreadsheet taped to the fridge one morning, color-coded by priority with my name in every column. That same day, my father pulled me aside in the garage, his hands shaking as he whispered, "Just play along for now," his breath smelling of the bourbon he thought no one noticed him drinking. I did play along. Until I couldn't anymore. The night of the networking event started normally enough. I wore my only button-down shirt, the one reserved for interviews. My mother watched from the kitchen doorway as I tied my shoes. "You'll be home by 9, she said, not asked. When I explained this was a professional event, she smiled in that way that made my stomach drop. All teeth, no eyes. The locked door at 11 p.m. shouldn't have surprised me. What did surprise me was the cold precision of it, not just locked but every light off, the security chain engaged. My key turned uselessly in the deadbolt. Through the window, I saw the notepad on the entry table, her neat handwriting, left 7:15 p.m. No ETA given. I rang the bell. Knocked. Texted. Called. Nothing. I ended up crashing on a friend's couch. He handed me a blanket without asking questions. That silence was the kindest thing I'd heard all day. At my cousin's spare room, really just a converted laundry space with a futon, I discovered she'd packed my belongings with disturbing thoroughness. Not just clothes and toiletries but childhood photos, my high school diploma, even the stuffed bear I'd slept with until age 12. All boxed like evidence from a crime scene. She handed me a printed contract when I showed up the next morning. A new list of rules. It included monthly drug test. I didn't even drink. Access to all financial accounts. Approval required for any purchase over $20. Mandatory family therapy sessions with her chosen counselor. No guests. Ever. 9 p.m. curfew. Lights out by 10. I didn't say a word. Just nodded, grabbed my boxes and called my cousin. He picked me up within the hour. Moving out didn't feel like rebellion. It felt like rescue. Over the next few weeks, I focused hard on freelancing and job applications. I picked up extra clients, made enough to cover some rent. Built a routine. Woke up early. Took walks. Ate better. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel watched. Then, out of nowhere, messages started coming in from extended family. "Congratulations," they said. "Proud of you. Big move." I had no idea what they were talking about. One cousin sent me a screenshot. It was a Facebook post from my mother. A photo of me standing next to a suitcase, one she had from years ago. The caption said she was proud I'd gotten a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity overseas, that I'd left the country to chase my dreams. According to her, I was now living somewhere in Europe. She didn't say where. My cousin confirmed family members had shared the post, congratulated her, added comments like, "You raised such a hard-working son. Hope he sends back pictures from his new life." It had become a whole thing. People thought I'd gotten some amazing international job and quietly moved away. There were edits to the story. Updates. New details. Version 1.0 had me working at a London marketing firm. By version 3.2, I was supposedly engaged to a French architect and buying a flat in Paris. I didn't say anything to her. Didn't comment on the post. Didn't text her. Instead, I started collecting screenshots. Forwarded messages. Anything that could later show exactly what was being said and by whom. It wasn't just about the lie. It was how fast it spread. How bold it was. She didn't just make something up. She built a storyline. complete with props, dialogue, and supporting characters. Farewell party photos surfaced on Facebook while I was eating ramen in my cousin's kitchen. My aunt had decorated with paper Eiffel Towers and served fondue. In one picture, my brother stood stiffly beside the suitcase. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Work became my refuge. I took on extra clients, eventually landing a stable remote position. The HR manager mentioned seeing my international experience on LinkedIn. I didn't correct her, just quietly updated my profile that night. My mother's retaliation came in waves. First the guilt, you're breaking your father's heart. Then the threats, wait until the family hears what you really did. Finally the smear campaign, whispered rumors about addiction, mental breakdowns, even embezzlement at my old college job. The voicemail that crossed the line arrived at 2:17 a.m. Her voice eerily calm, detailing how she told my grandmother I was in a psychiatric facility in Switzerland. That's when I started the documentation folder. Screenshots, call logs, audio recordings, even security footage from when she lurked outside my workplace for 3 hours one Tuesday. My brother's defection happened gradually. First it was forgotten hoodies at our place. Then his toothbrush. The night he showed up with his laptop and said, "Can I stay longer?" We both knew he wasn't going back. Our mother responded by canceling his health insurance the next day. The final breaking point came via certified mail, a notarized letter demanding repayment for room and board, dating back to my sophomore year of college. Attached was an itemized list that included $1,200 for electricity overuse, my laptop charger, $800 for emotional distress services, even $75 for the Thanksgiving dinner where I brought 2 pies and cooked the turkey. That's when the lawyer got involved. Not to sue, just to send a cease and desist. It made the harassment pause, for exactly 17 days. In the quiet that followed, I realized I missed my father more than I resented him. Not the man he was now, but the one who taught me to ride a bike, who helped with science fair projects. That version of him felt like a ghost now, someone I used to know. When the job offer came from another state, I didn't hesitate. Packing took 20 minutes. I'd learned to live light. My brother helped carry boxes to the rented truck, his own university transfer papers already submitted. Before leaving town, I visited our old elementary school. Sat on the swings where we used to play. Before chore charts. Before curfews. Back when family still meant safety. A teacher recognized me. Asked about my mother. I just smiled and said, "We're all exactly where we need to be." The new apartment smelled of fresh paint and possibility. I bought a plant. Something I'd never been allowed to have because she claimed I'd neglect it. I watered it every morning while reviewing case files for my new position. My brother visited most weekends. The color returned to his face week by week. Months later, a cousin sent screenshots of my mother's latest post. A birthday tribute. Childhood photos. The caption gushed about how proud she was of her globe-trotting son. The comments section filled with heart emojis. I didn't react. Just saved the images to the documentation folder. Now over 300 pages strong. Then I closed my laptop, put on my shoes, went for a walk. In my new neighborhood. Past bakeries and bookstores. Past dogs and sweaters and couples arguing about paint colors. All the ordinary wonders of a life built on real foundations. At the park, I passed a mother pushing her giggling child on a swing. The simple joy of it made my throat tighten. Somewhere along the way, I'd stopped flinching at slamming doors. Started sleeping through the night. The scars remained, but they'd hardened into armor. That evening, I texted my brother a photo of the plant, now thriving in its third pot. He replied with a screenshot of his Dean's List notification. No words needed. We were becoming what we'd always deserved to be, not perfect but free.